Hello everyone. So I'm just waiting a few seconds for the headphones, and my biggest advice is that you have to wear it, because I think that Tesla is doing a small music band, or I don't know, each hour. So if you want to hear me, my advice is to have your headphones. So welcome here. First change. For those who know the Fabrice Brion, our founder and CEO, obviously I'm not Fabrice. I'm Pierre Colon. Yeah, I heard some disappointment. I'm Pierre, I'm working for iCare for now 16 years. You have to know that iCare, we celebrate our 20th birthday a bit less than 1 month ago, the 13th of September. So I was the 6th employee. I know more or less the whole story of iCare, so you can ask anything at the end. Normally, I should be able to answer. And also, I made the full presentation with Fabrice, so don't worry, I should be able also to answer to the content too. So the goal of this presentation is to explain to you, to show you how we are using AI inside iCare, not only for the operational part, but also for other parts that you will see. I want to be practical, so I will use practical example to show you that AI is not a myth. You are already using it a lot, but it's possible to go even a bit further. Okay? Just practical info, the QR code, it's not for iCare, it's to ask your question. So at the end, I will show again this QR code, but if you have any question during the presentation, just write it, and one Odoo employee will come and ask me the question. So if you want to already scan it and keep it for later, it's just an URL. I will show it a bit later in the last slide. So in iCare, what are we doing? What is our job? We are really specialized in predictive maintenance and industrial performance. What does that mean? It means that our goal is to acquire data, and at the end to tell to the industry, because we are looking for industrial people, to tell to the industry which asset will break when, and even more than which assets, it's which part of the asset. It's like on your car, I could tell you within 3 months the front left brake will break, and I can tell you it's the pads and not the disc. Okay? It's so precise, we could go so deep in the analysis. It's not a crystal ball, it's really mathematical algorithm. Predictive maintenance is really exploding since mainly 2000, we said end of the 20th century. Why? It's mainly because of the processor. Is that it's a fully digital, so it's full digitalization. You need a lot of samples when you are doing the predictive maintenance, the peak, Fourier transform, and so on. So you need really full computer, full capabilities. Okay, I will come back on this a bit later. But it's not new, it's not a new principle. I like to start the presentation with this sentence, which is of course really shortened. I mean, Mr. Kelvin, Sir Kelvin, it was really a longer sentence. You can find it in his book. But if I summarize, that you cannot improve what you cannot measure. Okay, so it's data, it's facts, it's only facts. Okay, in industry you have a lot of process data, but you don't have a lot of asset data. Okay, it's the same for you, for your body. You are going to the doctor to see if you are healthy and so on, but sometimes you need deeper analysis. I mean, the process data, it's just your temperature, is your earth rate, everything that you can measure really easily. With the predictive maintenance and really the asset data, it's like the blood sample. I mean, we go really deeper in the analysis to see what could happen and what are the actions to optimize the reliability and the asset life. That's why we always said it's again, a global principle, think global and act local, is that we need the big picture, the full process. What are the main value? Where is the added value? I will just give a really easy example. On the pharmaceutical world, the most important is the product itself. When you are manufacturing a vaccine, really the small syringe, it's really important. I don't care of my process. Okay, so we are analyzing really small motor, really cheap to replace and so on. But if the asset, the small motor breaks, the whole line is stops and I lose my product, I lose the batch. Okay? If you go in, I don't know, mining and extraction, you can find sand everywhere, you can find cement everywhere, but the asset itself is so big that if it breaks, it will take 4, 5, 6 months just to have the right item, the right spare parts. Okay? So when I say think global, is that you have to see the whole process, the whole global view, and always act local in the global view. Okay? It's a bit the idea of Industry 4.0. For me, who knows Industry 4.0? Raise your hands. Not a lot, and it's normal. Who knows Industry 5.0? Both are, sorry for the word, but both are more or less bullshit. It's marketing stuff. Why do I say that? Because Industry 4.0, and it's not written there just after we say 4.0 since 04. Industry 4.0, it's a concept which emerged in 2010, something like that. The idea in 2010 was just to say we are in the fourth industrial revolution. Okay, I'm going a bit fast on this stuff, but it's just the introduction, so I have 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I want to spend more time on the AI, but the context is really important. The Industry 4.0 is the fourth industrial revolution. The first is mechanization, second electricity, third computing, mainly automation, because it was even before the computer as we know them. We say that with the fourth one, it's digitalization. And I prefer the word digitalization, interconnectivity of the system and so on, than Industry 4.0. With the Industry 5.0, we hear it a lot from Japan mainly, but it's spreading. The idea is it's the same than 4.0, but with the human in the center. I don't like this vision because for me, the 4.0, the company who are doing Industry 4.0 without the human in the center will collapse anyway, because it's the most important one. So for me, it's not 5.0, it's the 5.0 with an ethic. It's kind of, okay, but it's really intelligence. We all hear about smart industry, smart cities, okay, smart companies. The smart, it means Industry 4.0, it's really the same. I usually say that I have no domotic at my home, but with my phone I can control just the fan and the ventilation in my bathroom. And I have no connection. I just put a small plug in my power supply. I connected a fan, really simple fan without even interrupter. I plug in it, it's connected to my Wi-Fi. I have an application. So it's the idea of connecting also all assets. And it's really important to understand that with the Industry 4.0, it's ready for everyone. Okay? There is no boundaries. Your industry could be old. Your industry could be very far. You could even not have any internet connection, but you have satellite everywhere. I mean, we have Tesla here, and Tesla have Starlink, and we worked with Starlink on the desert in a petrochemical plant. I mean, there is no boundaries anymore. The small has never been so small. The world, sorry, the world has never been so small. Okay? Really important. On the other hand, I don't know if some of you were at the presentation of my boss yesterday, who made a big presentation about that. So it lasts 1 hour. So I will not spend 1 hour. I will try to summarize it in 3 minutes. But the idea is that Europe, and Mr. Michel is there, or should come just after. And I know that we already had discussion with him about that, and he agrees that Europe is, for the moment, the digital third world. Sorry. It's a fact. I mean, it's not to be pessimist. It's a fact if you base it on the number of digital company and also the money that generates. We are a consumer. Okay, we are consumer of the digital technologies. Does it mean that everything is lost? Does it mean that it could not change? Not at all. Okay, it's still time to act. Okay, and really in Belgium, we are in a great position for that. I mean, look where we are. Look how big is this event, how it changed that it's Odoo. I mean, there is no more digital tool than Odoo. So it shows that in Belgium, we are capable of doing really great things, and even more in the digital world. Okay, so it's really important. We have the know-how and so on. It's quite easy to change, and I just bring one to show you that it exists. I mean, it's not just an hypothetical view. It's possible to transform an old industrial plant in a 4.0 or into a connected plant, okay, with all the AI tool. Because just imagine how dirty. Don't imagine the people in the white robe and so on in pharmaceutics or nuclear plant. I mean, it's really the small percentage of the real industrial plant. It's also a part of the important one, but you have plenty of dirty industrial plant with a lot of dust everywhere and so on. Often the comment is that I cannot evolve to AI technology. It's too far from me. My employees are not educated enough to embed that. I have another question. Who here never used ChatGPT or similar tool? Never used. I could ask in the other way. Who already used ChatGPT? At least once. You see, you are using it. We are using it. I will explain and I will have a word about that. ChatGPT is just an example, okay? It's the emerged part of the iceberg. We already all use that, and it doesn't matter how educated we are. It doesn't matter what is our background, okay? And that's really the important part. I have another question. I like the question. I have another question. Who here bought in the last 6 months just a CD, a music CD? Yeah? 4, 5. We have collectioner in the room. Who bought a DVD? More or less same amount. It's 4 or 5 people. Also collectioner, or maybe an opportunity which reminds you the whole movie. Did you stop listen to music? Did you stop looking any movie? No. But what you are doing now is that you are paying a fee. Each month you are paying a fee. It's the same for Odoo. Here, who pay just one fee once? Who is buying Odoo? No one. You are paying a monthly fee and so on. It's yeah, maybe one at least. But usually you are paying a monthly fee. It's the same. You are listening music via Spotify, Deezer, and such platform. You are looking at movie via Disney Plus, Netflix, and so on. So it's available. It's already there. Okay. But what are you doing? You are paying a monthly fee. Why are we not doing the same for the industrial aspect and mechanical aspect? Why maintenance should be one of these old technologies? That's, for example, what we are doing. It's changing the capex to the opex, so capital expense to operational expense. Customer could just install sensors and they have the data. And even we don't care if it's with all sensors. It's really important to understand that a data is a data. Okay? Vibration sensors, they are more or less all the same. Once you get the vibration, you can analyze it. It's just algorithm and AI and so on behind. So you have different steps in it. In the different step of AI, I will not speak about the sensor itself. I'm not here to make a commercial presentation. It's really not the goal. I also have the time running in front of me, so I really want to go in the practical stuff. For the WeCare itself, we have 4 main steps. So the WeCare, it's these sensors. Okay, you have the acquisition. I will not talk too much about the acquisition. Just have to know it's a patented technology, but we are not the only one to make vibration analysis. After, you have a data screening. You have to imagine we have 1 million sensors like this. Even if within iCare we have 800 people, you cannot look at each data each time. It's every 15 minutes on each asset. We have more than thousands of customers. It's impossible to look at it. So you need to have a data screening. How do we have it? We have all the data which is coming, the data linked to really industrial assets. All the data is coming and we are doing a screening in different buckets. On your right, and it's more or less 80% of the data, you don't have to look at it at all. Okay, you don't have to look at it. You have to know just a quick detail, but which is really important. Why is it not possible to make fully automatic analysis? We always speak about when your car is shutting down, when you are stopped along the highway. It happens once and it's really a nightmare. But if you keep your car 5 years, just happening once, it's not a common event. Okay, it's not a standard event. And on a statistics, it's really hard to detect. It's the same for an industrial event, an industrial asset, sorry. It's a specific event and it's impossible to automatically detect it. Okay, it's really impossible to detect it. Why? Because if you are making, you have more or less 100,000 data each measurement. If you have 100 measurement data every 15 minutes during 5 years, it's impossible to detect a specific event. So the idea is that all the events without anything to see, green bucket, nothing to see. Okay, it's 80% of the data, which means that 100 of your employee, 100% of your employee will just analyze 20%. In this 20%, you can detect and you can check because you have profile, you have template for different specific issue and so on. Once you have your screening, you have anomaly detection. You have to say what's the problem on the assets. Okay. Here, the AI could help you too, but you have, it's machine learning. You have just to help the system to understand. If you have this template, this looks and so on, it means that you have this kind of problem on your equipment. Okay, if you have in your blood sample, if you have no iron, you are doing an anemia. Okay, it's more or less the same. If you see too much vibration in this area, you have this problem. Okay, it's really mathematical. The critical issue is to say, is it critical or not? Do we have to stop the production? Do I have to stop my industrial plant or not? Okay, it's really, really important. To give you an idea on the analysis, we are also doing AI because based on what the analysts approved, based on this, we have automatic report. Okay, these automatic report, thanks to ChatGPT, Google Translate, Odoo, to speak about also a Belgian solution, all these solutions can be embedded in the software. It's already happened. So the analyst just choose the issue. It's pre-filtered. It's pre-filled. You just have to modify some area, but it takes really, really less time. It's the same as ChatGPT. Everyone said that you already use ChatGPT. I hope that everyone is also reading the answer of ChatGPT and not just doing a copy-paste. Because if you are doing a copy-paste, you will always find mistakes. Or the language is not really perfect. Or you have some mistakes. Okay, it's too familiar or not familiar enough and stuff like that. Okay, I will go just a step further because, okay, you understand the operational part. I mean, you understood it, it's clear. It's just simple, I mean, not say simple AI. But I would like to show you also that we can use AI for day-to-day of the company. For me, the most important part of the AI is to simplify the day-to-day job. And if not simplify, it's to be mainly focused on the added value operations. Okay? The added value operations is the most important. We are all spending time, I'm talking about, for example, the really small companies, the independent people, or people with only 4 people, companies, sorry, 4 or 5 people. You are spending a lot of time in administration. You are doing a lot of time in invoicing and so on. Here, the AI, that's what Odoo is doing, really, is to simplify, to earn a lot of time, to be focused on the operations, to be focused on your added value. Okay. For example, we did the business plan for one of our subsidiaries. Normally, you could easily recognize the country. Okay. It was for Spanish subsidiary. It's quite a small subsidiary. We have 4 sales guys there, and they were a bit struggling to find where to open a new offices, where to spend time to get some money a bit faster and to not spend time on really small companies and so on. We asked ChatGPT to make the list of the biggest company linked to our business, and we decided and we made a business plan based on that. Of course, we had to rework it, okay, but the base was done. It's the same, for example, for legal and compliance. You have to know that we have also in Belgium, it's written. In UK, they received the British Legal Technology Awards. You have a tool based on AI which can analyze all your legal and compliance process, documents, contracts, NDA, and they can pre-fill all the contracts and so on for you based on your specificities. Okay, I know there is also a topic about that in the Odoo system, And Odoo is the same. They are working with preferred partners, suppliers, and so on. It's the same here for us. The goal is really to have exhaustivity in contract review. I will just give you an example. We made contract and NDA with really big and well-known company working in cars, but really top level. I could say, no, I will not say anything because I don't want to have an issue. Anyway, it's really on the top 3 highest company. The NDA is just 2 pages, okay? 1 sheet, recto verso. The full NDA is there. So when you are doing an NDA or a contract, it doesn't have to be really big. Simplify first, and thanks to the tool, you can simplify. When you simplify, you really keep the essence, the blood, the DNA of what you are doing. It's really important, and I don't know how it is for Odoo, because I'm not working in Odoo, but I think they are doing more or less the same. We are the owner, full technology of the WeCare, but also we are often saying we are just engineers. So the issue is that we created the WeCare and we forgot a bit the software. So after we hired a lot of IT people, we made the software, also with a lot of people trying to have the right interface and so on. But when you hire new people in IT with AI and so on, you don't have any master in AI technology and so on yet. It will happen. So you have to train your guy, you have to train your people. The easiest way to train new IT guy with a code is to insert and upload your code in a generative AI system. Of course, you have really ways, so don't make ice like this. It's possible to protect the data, to work offline and stuff like that, to be sure that you have no leak of the source, of course. But once you train the system, you include your code inside the generative AI. Once you have it, you can put your new trainee on this to work. You give them some homework. They will make mistake, and the AI will correct them and explain them why it's a mistake. Okay, so it's possible. It's working. We are doing that now for 3 or 4 years. It's better and better because the tool is already better and better, and because we are including all the new part of the tool. You know how many IT guy and coder I have here? Who already tried to insert the code inside the ChatGPT, for example? Does it work well? Yeah, more or less. So usually it's mainly to make the draft. Or sometimes you insert your code and you say, could you simplify it, a working code? It's how it works, and it's working very well. So it's possible to make AI, not only for me personally, my advice is to use AI today, mainly for your support activities. Don't forget it, because it will help you to spend more time on your more added value. Last, it's really my last slide, because I think it's really on time. It should be. Still time for Q&A? Still time for Q&A? Perfect, because it's important. Just a few words about iCare, and I didn't want to spend too much time about that, because once again, it's not a commercial presentation. But iCare, Odoo, Aerospace Lab, we are really close to each other because we are born in the Walloon area. Fabien Pincars, Fabrice Brion, of course, they know each other. They have more or less the same profile, the same age. They started also more or less from nothing, just with a great idea and ambition. Really, the goal to develop their own area, the ambition to say it's not because we are working in Belgium, which is really a small country and so on, that we are not capable of the best. Okay, and for me it's really important. It's humble people. I think that you could find Mr. Pinkar still doing some pasta box somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised anyway. I think you wouldn't be neither if you know him. But it's more or less the same vision. It's not the same product at all. We are working in predictive maintenance and industrial performance. We were founded in 2004 in Mons, so near the French border. And we really wanted also to have the employee part of the shares, because we have, when we did it in 21, it was half of the employee became shareholders of the company, so 250 people. Now it's not half of the employee, because we are more or less 1,000 employees. So the proportion is smaller. Why? Because once you are doing that and fundraise, it's a bit harder on a legal point of view to have more and more shareholders, but it's a process. It's not a fashion way, or it was not, the goal was not to have people in the shareholders just to show, to say it's great. Just to give you an example, I'm a shareholder of iCare since 2010. Okay, so we are doing that quite for a long time, and don't worry, I'm not driving a Ferrari. It was just a tenth, 10,000 of it. It's really small, but in the philosophy, the goal was really to have all the employees working and having a word, being able to say a word. Thanks a lot. You find the QR code there to ask your question. I don't know if already some people ask some questions. Not yet. Just after me, it's Charles Michel, so I think that I will have some pressure to stay on time. I see some people scanning, so I suppose it will arrive. It's over. I will stay there, so if you have question, I will just be there for the next 30 minutes more or less. Not just there to not have any problem with Charles Michel once again. Thanks to everyone. Have a nice day.